an airline that has faced more than its fair share of turbulence. I'm talking about SpiceJet that has recently concluded a fundraise of about 3,000 crores. But even after that, the question is being asked again and again that will this airline survive and revive? To speak on that, I'm joined now by the CMD, Mr. Ajay Singh. So great to have you on the NDTV network, Mr. Singh, and thank you for taking out the time to speak to us at what I'm sure is a busy time. Now, we're speaking also on an interesting day when there has been an announcement from your company that GST dues have been cleared. Let's start there. What are the dues that have been cleared, and is this what we're going to see as the primary utilization of the 3,000 crores raised, which is to clear outstanding dues?
Well, the primary use of the raise is to increase capacity, go from the current 25 aircraft that SpiceJet is flying back to a 100 aircraft airline in the next 2 years. That's the primary objective of the raise. We were already close to 100 aircraft airline in 2019, and it is our intention to get back to being a 100 aircraft airline over the next 2 years. That's the primary objective. Of course, another objective of the raise is to clean up the balance sheet, clear up whatever is due and payable, settle with all our partners who are owed money primarily for the period when aircraft are not flying during COVID and during the grounding of the MAX aircraft in 2019. And for 3 years thereupon. So the idea is that we clean up our balance sheet, restructure all existing liabilities, and have the space and the strength to quickly grow back into being a 100 aircraft airline in a market which is absolutely booming, and where only of the population of 140 crore people today, 5 or 6 crore Indians fly. So SpiceJet knows how to do this. SpiceJet has been an airline which has been around the last 18, 19 years. We've flown with very high occupancy, with a great deal of success. We've brought about a turnaround in 2015, which was most unexpected and the envy of many. We feel that we are in a better position to bring about another turnaround here. SpiceJet already has all the experience and infrastructure to be a 100 aircraft airline. And so the primary objective of the race is to quickly get back being a 100 aircraft airline.
Okay, so that is the primary objective. But then, the back of the envelope calculation is that out of that 3,000 crore, about 2,400 crore is going to go towards dues. About 600 crore is left. I think what you've also penciled in for fleet expansion is about 370 crores. So I come back to the question that some are asking and that we started with. With 3,000 crore fundraise successful, yes, that's a check mark. But can the airline actually survive and revive? How much more is required?
Firstly, your number of 2,400 is a little overstated in our opinion. And what we've done is we've penciled in about 800 crores towards revival of aircraft that we have on the ground. Remember, the aircraft are difficult to come by in the global aviation market at this point of time. SpiceJet has this great advantage that we have about 30 aircraft which are just sitting on the ground, which need some capital to put them back in the air. So the first objective of SpiceJet is to see that these 30 aircraft that are sitting on the ground, several of which are actually owned by SpiceJet, that those go back in the air. And for that, we've provided a significant amount of money from this fundraise. In addition to that, like you correctly said, we've allocated some money towards getting in aircraft on lease. And this money has been allocated towards some advance payments, etc., that have to be made for those aircraft. So the plan is to get up to about 40 aircraft by the end of this financial year, to get up to close to 80 aircraft by the end of the following financial year, and 100 aircraft thereupon. So we think it's a plan that we can well achieve, and we will actually surprise all of you on the upside.
No, I think this is the question that you get the most.
Tamanna, let me just say that, we have proven you guys wrong. We've proven your channel wrong repeatedly, because you guys have said so many times that SpiceJet will not survive. And we've shown you every time that you're wrong. This is an airline that refuses to die. It will not, and it will be a vibrant player in the Indian aviation space. Again, there is absolutely no doubt of that.
All right. So no, let me respond to that, Mr. Singh. We hold as journalists a healthy dose of skepticism for any claims made by anyone. But having said that, for the health of the Indian aviation sector, it's better that there are more players. We want SpiceJet to survive. But all claims being made will be examined as they must. I'm sure you appreciate that.
We fully appreciate that, but every time a claim has been made by NDTV, it is our mission to ensure that that claim is proven wrong.
Okay, if that helps the airline survive, then we're happy for that. We're happy for the outcome. Okay. Now, having said that, you said that the math was a little bit off. Let me just come back to that. So 3,000 crores, you're saying at least 800 crores goes towards capex. So 2,200 crores towards due. Is that the right math then?
No, actually, what is going towards due is close to about 1,400 crores because there are a lot of settlements in the works. We have another 800 crores of reserve capital that we are keeping to ensure that we have enough working capital and we have enough reserve. So around 1,400 crores is going towards dues. About 800 is going towards refurbishing the planes and getting in new aircraft, and 800 is capital that we are keeping in reserve.
Okay. Now let's get to what that pathway looks like and some of the things from the customer point of view, the niggles. So some hitches which we've seen at certain airports, airport dues, etc. Would that take priority? Some of the furloughs that have been announced, do you look at reversing that in a certain timeline?
Well, as you know, we've cleared all past salaries of employees. Everybody's completely current and up to date. We have also cleared GST dues. We are clearing other statutory dues as we speak. In terms of the airports, there's actually very little money due to them. I think one of the advantages of being on the advance system that we have been at airports and with oil companies for the last 7 or 8 years is that very little money is actually due to them from the past. So they will be settled. Those are relatively smaller pieces of this full puzzle. We will find settlements with them really soon. Now, you heard about some advance payments that have been requested by certain airports, which came in the media. But those are very small amounts, Tamanna, and those will be settled very, very quickly.
What about the 150 crew sent on furlough in August? Now that there is liquidity that has come in, is there a plan to reverse this? Because surely if you're going to have this, ambitious scale up of fleet, then you need the crew as well. So what is happening on that front?
I think for sure. I mean, these are wonderful people who we've trained. And, by the way, SpiceJet was perhaps the only airline that actually kept the entire staff at SpiceJet during COVID. We kept them because we felt that they would have absolutely nowhere to go if we were to let them go. And so we are very, very, conscious of the fact that we need to get them back on the rolls as soon as possible. And as we scale up and as we roll out this pretty ambitious scale-up plan, of course, all that crew and all that staff is going to come.
Let me just come to the bit of the fundraise. So the first round of fundraise, successful. Some marquee investors have come in. Then again, some have, offloaded a little bit of stake, but then that's part of usual business. The question everyone wants to know that is another fundraise round the corner, or will that be required to reach that goal of 100 aircraft by 2026? Is that on the horizon?
I think the plan till 2026 is fully funded.
Okay.
So no more fundraise is required for that. I think we are well on our way on that plan. We'll see what happens beyond that plan.
How does the math work on just what we spoke about? So the dues paid, the amount of capex left. I know you have about 36 grounded fleet, which you will first revive. But then if you want to get to the number of 100, so you need 30 odd more. Does the math really fit with the amount of funds raised so far?
Yeah, when you take planes on the secondary market, Tamanna, you don't have to pay for the planes. What you do is you pay advance lease rental. So 2 months or 3 months of lease rental. We've taken all that into account. We've taken some aircraft deliveries from Boeing towards the fag end of that plan, but not very many, given the current issues that Boeing is facing, which we hope that they will resolve really soon. But just to make sure that our plan remains robust and strong, we've taken very few deliveries from Boeing. The rest of the planes are actually coming off the secondary market, and there seems to be a decent amount of availability going forward. So we've taken advance payment for those aircraft.
So how many planes would in this lot of 100 be from the secondary market in the final calculation?
We will, so around 35 or 40 planes are from the secondary market over the next 2.5 years. And we have visibility for quite a large number of those aircraft already. We've taken a few, like I said, from Boeing towards the fag end of that period. And we'll see if Boeing is able to provide them, then great. And because we still have an outstanding order with Boeing for about 200 aircraft. If things come back on stream and they're able to provide those, then great. And if not, those will also have to be procured from the system.
So if I look back at the two primary reasons which have seen SpiceJet face turbulence, one was COVID, which was faced by everyone, and the second was Boeing itself. In that sense, leading up to my question, is it time for a sort of a reset when you look at the rest of your fleet and not look at Boeing primarily? Is that something that you're thinking of as well?
I think we'll exercise all possible options. It's not as if the other manufacturer also has a great deal of capacity available. It's a tough market. I think Boeing has gone through a tough time. We'll see how things really pan out. But I think the preference is to stick with existing partners while exploring all other possibilities.
Just a couple of questions on what the industry is looking like right now, Mr. Singh. We have a peculiar sort of breakup in our aviation industry. Airlines die over here with alarming regularity. Kudos, SpiceJet has managed to stay above ground, but that is a feature of the Indian aviation industry. And then you have two primary players now, one with an outsized share. SpiceJet gets to 100 by 2026, say all of that is in plan. How do you manage to crack this in terms of market share?
Our concern has never particularly been market share. As you increase the fleet, the market share goes up. This is part of the way this works. We were at close to 20% market share in 2019. As we increase our planes, market share will keep going up. I don't want to put a target market share, but I think a healthy industry requires multiple players. The duopoly that exists today is perhaps long-term not the best thing to happen, either for consumers or for this industry. And not only SpiceJet, I would wish the other players also the best, and I hope that we can have multiple players in the system. We, of course, need to ensure going forward that the industry remains healthy. And for that, it's important that we bring down the cost of aviation in terms of the taxes that are being charged, the complexity of the system, etc. We need to address those issues, and we need to address the issue of yield. India has been one of the lowest yield markets, aviation markets in the world. That's improved over the last 2 years. But I think it's important that airlines are going to be profitable so that they can use the profits and deploy those profits towards growth that the Indian market needs.
What is the path to profitability for SpiceJet, sir?
Well, from our perspective, today a large amount of our cost actually is because of the fixed cost that we are incurring because of the grounded fleet. As you start putting that fleet back in the air, remember that today we are paying for that fleet. We are paying lease rental for the fleet. We are paying parking charges for the fleet. We are paying an outsized amount of money for infrastructure to maintain that fleet. As you start bringing that fleet back, that fixed cost will get amortized over the number of planes that we have, and you'll see the profitability come quite quickly. In fact, our projection is that you will see it quite early on that the airline will turn profitable.
Give me a number, sir.
I don't want to give you the Tamanna, because then I don't want to, read in your channel that I said something.
You get to tell me I told you so.
Commitments to, you're right, but we have made commitments in our business plan to the incoming investors. We will certainly try and beat those commitments that we made.